welcome Elaine Shangion with us. Welcome, Elaine.
Thank you very much, Elizna. It's nice being here.
Elaine is a physiotherapist here in our local community, and she also volunteers at the local school. And Elaine, today we really want to discuss the effects of poor posture on our children's performance and on their well-being. So that's why we want to discuss it with you.
Thank you very much.
So Elaine, tell me, what is posture?
So if we look at the word posture, it can be defined as the position that we find our bodies in at any given moment, whether you stand or whether you sit down or whether you're completing a task. In short, the way we hold our body upright while we're doing anything.
Yeah. And so you have poor posture and then correct posture. So what's the difference between the two?
Obviously, the one is wrong and the other is right.
Yeah.
But when we look at correct posture, it refers to a position where your body is optimally aligned. In other words, that there's no extra stress on your joints or your muscles or your ligaments. Your body is in a happy place. If we look at the word poor posture, it actually refers to a position where your body is not optimally aligned and your joints and your muscles and your ligaments need to compromise in that position, which causes a bit of stress on all the structures.
Yeah. So what is the effects of poor posture on our children?
There are quite a few effects of the bad posture or poor posture, but a very important one is that when you are in a bad posture, your whole body is compromised in that position. And when you sustain that position for a while or for a few days or months, or it becomes a habit, your whole body needs to adapt to that position, which means your muscles get tight. Some muscles get inflexible, other muscles elongate and they get inhibited, and in the end the body doesn't function optimal at the moment, and then you are very prone to injury. You sometimes even have tension headaches. You can hear people complain of back pain, and all of that can be related to a constant bad posture.
And you also mentioned something about concentration.
Absolutely, especially if we focus on the students. We sometimes see when the students have a bad posture, they become tired because it is hard work to maintain your body in an upright posture if your body is not strong enough and you don't have the endurance to maintain that position. And in the end, your brain is really focusing on staying upright and in that position rather than the math that you have to focus on in your classroom.
So part of the reason that we have this discussion with Elaine is that we realize in the past few years that a lot of our music students really suffer from bad posture, and they don't even notice it. And we've realized that it increased in the number of years. And sometimes this new generation is called the down generation, because of the technology. So what is that? What's the effect of that on our children?
Absolutely. Again, in reference to the position, the longer we stay in a bad position, a sustained bad position, can really cause damage and eventually actually cause an injury to that area. Now, with the children working on the cell phones or playing games, enjoying technology, most of them are actually positioned in a forward position. And it's interesting that your head, when it is upright, weighs a certain amount of kilograms. And as soon as you start going forward, due to gravity, your head becomes very heavy. And if you compare it to weights in the gym, you would be having a very big weight hanging onto your neck within a forward position. So in the end, when they do sustain that position, we really see that the muscles fatigue, and eventually muscles start doing a job that they're not signed up for, and we see that children start getting headaches, back pain, and sometimes even adjusted emotional state because they're tired. They get tired and fatigued quite often because they're actually in a position that their body does not like being in.
Yeah, I agree. So that leads us to the next question, Elaine. So how do we correct bad posture?
So I think I always say prevention is better than cure. So I think the focus point should be on the prevention. And the first thing that comes into my mind when we think of prevention is awareness.
Yeah.
Because if I am aware of the fact that I am in a bad position, I then know how to correct it or when to correct it. So the first thing would definitely be awareness, that we get, to try and make an awareness campaign for the students to sort of get them to realize what is wrong and what is right when it comes to posture. And secondly, being in the right position it's hard work.
Yeah.
So when you use certain muscles, it's important that we strengthen those muscles to make sure that we have a good posture. So exercises, postural exercises, would definitely be on my list as well, to start educating the students on postural exercises. We don't always have trees at home these days, and that's a good exercise for the upper body. But then to try and see if we can find an exercise that can work for them to strengthen all our postural muscles. And thirdly, it would be that we should try and see our surroundings to sort of try and figure out what is ergonomically correct. It's a big word, but it just means that your surroundings should actually be arranged in such a way that it's optimal for your body. If you are sitting in front of the computer, if you are using your phone, to try and use it in a position where your eyes are aligned with the screen so that we don't have that forward head posture, placing a lot of strain on our neck and back, and trying to sort of fit your surroundings into that ergonomically correct situation where you are safe in what you are doing.
Thank you, Elaine. Thank you for all this great information. And we want to say thank you to our viewers. Thank you for joining us for this few minutes to discuss posture, and we're going to see you next time.